Hello, and welcome to the Brutal Iron Gym podcast, where our goal is to cut through the BS and deliver the brutal truth about topics related to health and happiness. So today's topic is mindset, and we're going to cover the topic of stop looking for the answer. So, trying to find the perfect answer, and this could be for a diet or for training, or trying to figure out like a perfect schedule for your day, maybe the perfect way how to handle a relationship, can really be pretty universal. But trying to find the perfect answer for a situation is just an excuse to not do what you should do in the meantime. So if you tell yourself, like, oh, I'm not really sure what to do. I'm going to look for the answer. Let me look for this. Let me look for that. And in the meantime, you're not doing anything. What you're actually using that journey of looking for the answer is a bullshit excuse to avoid doing the work that you should actually do now. So often we put off doing something because we believe what we know now, the options of doing something that we currently have available, is incomplete or only partial. So we want to have 100% certainty of what things should be done before we even start. But do we ever actually do 100% of anything we do? No. So if you're waiting for the perfect answer, will you then be perfect in your execution of that answer? We all pretty much think the answer is yes. We're like, yeah, if I knew what to do, I'd crush it. I'd be freaking perfect. If I knew how to handle this, or if I knew the answer for that, or I knew what to eat, or I knew how to train, I would be perfect. Everything would be great. I would have all of my dreams come true. Everything would work out. That's absolute bullshit. So, of the things you know today that you should do you do them? No. You do them some of the times, but you don't do them all the time. You're not perfect with how you do the things you already know that you should be doing. So what's going to change when you find the right answer? How will you magically be able to put in 100% then when you can't do 100% now? Sometimes we think the right answer is going to make things easier. And how in the hell have you lived to this point in your life and not recognize that doing the right things in life is hard? It's hard to do the right things. That's why most people don't do them. When we find the right answer, things don't magically fall into place. Things aren't magically easy to do. What is easy? When we feel things are easy, what makes them feel easy? Typically, it's because we get to be lazy to do it. It would be easy to exercise if I got to exercise sitting in my couch, my lazy boy in front of the TV. Sure, we'd all love that. And we see infomercials for stupid little TENS units that flex your muscles for you. Oh, put this thing on your abs and it'll contract your abs for you. You can just sit and watch TV. Holy hell, if you buy that, you're a moron. And if you're slightly offended because you bought that, welcome to reality. You are a moron. So we don't get to do things lazy and have them be correct. Nothing in life gets better by you not doing anything. Okay? And you know what I mean by that. So you can find some stupid example where, like, maybe one time you got lucky by not doing anything, it worked out. But that's not a life habit. That's not a sustainable thing that's applicable to all areas of life. So almost always the perfect answer is something that's harder. It takes discipline. It takes effort. We would know what to do, but we might not want to do it. How many times do we know that to be true? We say, oh man, that would be the right thing to do. I don't really want to have to do that. Let me look for another option. That's what we do. We typically skirt around things that are hard. We try and we hope and we pray that the bullshit effort we want to give today is somehow enough. So the perfect answer is almost never the easier execution. It's rather the harder thing that we currently usually know we should do, but we're not doing. People want the perfect, say, diet, for example, thinking that it'll be easier to execute. Oh, somehow magically I can still get up every morning and not have to eat breakfast. Somehow magically I can deem myself to be too busy during the day and not have to eat during the day. Then somehow magically at night I get to eat whatever bullshit food I want to eat. But, oh wait, if I keep it within a window, if I only eat from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m., that'll make it okay. So let me give minor restrictions to the bullshit lazy behavior that I want to do every day, and somehow magically that'll be enough. Welcome to intermittent fasting. That's what intermittent fasting is I want to do everything wrong all damn day, but I want it to somehow be the correct answer. So I'm going to undereat all day because I was already undereating because I already felt like I was too busy to eat. And then let me give myself rules that allow me to eat shit at night all clumped in together in one large ass 4-hour meal because I was already doing that. So that's what you were already doing, and it wasn't working. It did not lead you to the body you wanted. But now all of a sudden you put rules. Okay, instead of randomly starting to eat after work whenever I want to, I can't start eating till 6. Instead of me eating until I go to bed at 11 or 12, I have to stop eating at 10. Let me make minor inconvenient concessions. So let me rein my lazy ass behavior in by 10%. And then somehow magically that'll give me the body of everybody I see that has the body I want, but yet none of them do that. So if you ask people that have like aesthetic competitions, so they have, 6-pack abs, maybe they have a nice butt, maybe they have big arms, big chest. They have the things that you want. Okay? If they're not total assholes trying to sell you a product or some kind of diet program and they're lying to you, okay? If you can find one of them that is honest, they will tell you that there's no chance in hell they're doing intermittent fasting. They're not just under eating all damn day, eating a bunch of stupid shit at night, and as long as it fits into a caloric total, they're okay. You can't just eat pie and cheesecake and ice cream and cookies and all this bullshit food. Somehow within a 4-hour window, maybe somehow your calories are still controlled, but that's yet going to lead to every result you've ever wanted. So magically you can be as lazy as you normally are. You can have poor quality food, but yet you think you're going to get the best quality results. That is pretty damn dumb. If we think of it in regards to how does this work anywhere else in life? Anywhere else in life, does the laziness that we do now get us the results we want? No. Okay? That's why we're looking for changes. That's why we're looking for an answer, because what we're doing now isn't working. That means that you have to change what you do now. And that will be uncomfortable. You're picking what you pick now because it's easy, it's convenient. It's at least within a realm of uncomfortableness that you feel self-sacrificing for. So you're saying, oh, well, I am giving up this, or I am restricting myself in this way. That should be good enough. No. Turns out it isn't. And that sucks. It's not fair. Blah, 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 blah. Whine, whine, whine. Okay? So you're not looking for the perfect answer. You're looking for what you already do to be enough. That's what you want. And it's not. Otherwise, you'd already have the results you desire. If your current laziness, your current ho-hum, inconsistent, maybe good, off and on, hot and cold efforts were good enough, you'd already have the results you desire. So if my actions are not leading to the right results, what needs changed? Your actions. Is there a way in which you can bend the rules and make your actions good enough? No. You either do it right or you don't. You either get the results you want or you don't. You can redefine your current results. So, and say, okay, well, I had wanted to get to six-pack abs, or I wanted to get to a 400-pound bench press, or I wanted to get to a certain mile time if you're a runner. But you know what? I've got this going on in my life. I got that going on in my life. There's this excuse, there's that excuse. So I guess whatever I'm doing like now is getting me what I'm getting now. And hey, that's not too bad. Okay, well, you can redefine your results and make them good enough. But did that change the results? No, you just changed your perception and the definition of the results. So if you say to yourself, I want the perfect answer, the perfect situation, I want to know exactly what I should do. So that way the effort I do put in now, I'll get the most from it. So that kind of makes sense. So if I put 80% effort, so if I know I'm not perfect, okay, but I put 80% effort in to a 90% approach, that isn't as good as putting in 80% into a 100% approach. That does make sense. If you have a better approach, whatever effort you do put in will be slightly worth more. That's true. So for Mr. and Mrs. Perfectionist out there, what percent are you currently giving? 100%? Nope. 80%? Maybe some of the times in certain seasons or certain situations, you'll crank things up. You'll get things pretty well right for the most part. But more consistently, month by month, year by year, you're probably putting in around 50 to 70%. Sometimes you're doing it about half and half. Sometimes you're stepping up a little bit more. But on average, it's probably averaging around somewhere between 50 to 70%. So, waiting until we find 100%, approach, and then me doing half-ass or nothing until then, is that moving me forward? No. If I gave 100% to an incomplete approach, is that better than 0% to a complete approach? Yes. It is better to do whatever the hell you can do now with what you have now than to continue to do nothing until you find this perfect answer. Okay? You can continue to give 50 to 70% to the lesser approach. Complain, resting on the excuses you don't have the perfect approach. Or you can just start getting the better effort into what you have available now. It's not that you don't have the answer that's holding you back. It's that you're not giving 100% to the answers you have available at this moment. I've learned this myself the hard way. So I was the person who needed to listen to this podcast a while ago, and I still need to check in on this podcast probably like every month. There are things I could be doing today that would make my life easier for me and would give me better results. So out of the information and what I have available today, I can live a better life. Do I do it? My goal is to be working towards it. And I have things I track on my phone. There are things I track on Excel files and Word documents and stuff to track my behaviors and see if I'm improving. I do have the goal of improving every day. Am I going to be perfect every day? Hell no. Ain't going to happen. Okay, I'm aware of that. But if I try to be perfect, I'm going to do a lot better than if I don't try. If I say, what's the point? I'm not exactly sure what I should be doing anyhow. Let me just kind of ho-hum, hang out, do nothing, and wait until the perfect answer comes to me. That doesn't work. So I've learned in business that as the gym was growing, and I was trying to figure out what would be, like, should I focus on more like in-person clients rather than online clients? Should I have every member of the gym have to follow a programming paper that I wrote? Should I make that part of the membership? Maybe I should have, this kind of promotion, that kind of promotion. Maybe I should pick this type of equipment or that type of equipment. So I might not have known exactly what direction to go in. But of what I had available, I tried to freaking do 100% of it. So my goal always was in business was anytime I had an idea, try it to its best. If it crashed and burned, then that was not meant to be. Then I'll kind of gravitate more towards the ones that worked. So if I had 10 ideas, I'd try all damn 10. Now that would be frustrating for some of the people around me because it looked like I was scattered. But my approach was to try everything that was open to me. What developed is what I would continue to focus and narrow down on more and more. Assuming, of course, that all that stayed within the way in which I wanted to do business. It stayed within the vision of my gym. So, for example, I don't sell supplements in my gym. That's not what I want to do. One of my best friends has a supplement store right down the road, so I don't want to impede on his business. Okay, he's a really super duper nice guy. He knows a hell of a lot more about supplements than I do. That's his passion. That's what he wants to do. I am not passionate about supplements. I am a trainer. I'm not here to sell you some type of protein brand over this protein brand. I don't really give a shit to go home and eat a steak. Okay? That's my approach. So should I sell supplements to make extra money for the gym? Some people are going to say yes. But I chose no because I don't give a shit about supplements. So was it a way to make money? Yes. But did I feel like it was ethical and morally correct? No. Because I'm not going to invest all the knowledge into it. It's not what I'm passionate about. It might have made me some money, but it isn't how I want to make money in life. It isn't what I want to do for a living. I didn't want to be a cash register. I didn't want to have to deal with that. I wanted to train clients. So, and I'm sure my clients would not appreciate if in the middle of their session I had to stop to go ring somebody out at the cash register. So it's true that I shot down some ideas that I knew were not in the direction I wanted them to be. But within the ones that were available to me, I tried my best at them. If they crashed and burned, oh well. If something stuck and it did good, then I tried to stay with it. So for example, this podcast is growing actually really well. So thank you for listening, even though I yell at you guys on some podcasts like today's. But it's growing well. I'm getting good feedback. It's something I enjoy doing. So we're on number 388 of these. So that's 388 days in a row that I've made a podcast. So that's pretty good. Over a year, every single day, there's been a podcast. So that's something you can see is consistent. But I've tried a ton of other things in business that absolutely crashed and burned. But the key was for me to move forward, for me to make progress, I had to just try my best at whatever the hell was available to me. Even if I didn't know if it was going to work, I still had to try it. So rather than me saying, oh, I don't know if that'll be good, let me just not do it. Of course I'm not going to move forward. Of course I'm not going to make progress. If just because of a little uncertainty, I don't do the whole big thing. So where are you doing that in your life? Do you maybe have like weight loss that you know you have to have? Like, so you know you need to diet a little bit, but you're not really sure what way to diet. So therefore you're not dieting. You're not sure if you should do low fat or low carb or keto or intermittent fasting, which hopefully now you know is stupid and don't do that. Should you skip the bread at a meal or should you eat the bread at the meal? If bread's energy, do I need energy now? What if I don't have energy now? Is that going to make me crash later? We get into all these stupid little nuances. But while we're worrying about the nuances, we're not tracking our protein. We know protein intake is an important thing. You have no clue how much protein you take every day. You probably have no clue how many calories you eat every day. Or at least how many calories you're eating per meal. You don't know that. So there you are, worried about something being organic or not. And you don't even know the freaking most basic shit there is to know. The stuff that'll get you something for the something you can put into it. If you're uncertain of what to do, controlling your calories and understanding your calories is at least one hell of a good step. So you might not know if you should have white rice or brown rice, or if that's significant or not. But knowing how many calories you should have per day is significant. And that's something you can do right now. Knowing how much protein you should have every day is something you can do right now. Okay? We've talked about this stuff a million times. So podcast 153 tells you how many calories do you need. Podcast 33 tells you how much protein do you need. And those two things are by far the two most impactful effects on your diet. So whether it's fat loss or muscle building, how much calories you eat per day and how much protein you eat per day is overwhelmingly the biggest significant factors. So whether something's organic or not, white or wheat, or all those other stupid little shit details, okay, that stuff really doesn't matter that much. If you're not knowing where to start, and if you don't know the perfect diet, therefore you're not doing the best of what you have available. That is bullshit. You have something available to you today, right now, that'll get you results. It'll get you something. It'll start the ball rolling. It will gain momentum. You can take a step towards having more control and having a happier life. Listening to podcast 153 and number 33. Do that, and you'll at least have some control over your nutrition. You will have more confidence. You'll just be happier throughout the day. You'll feel more kind of proud of yourself. You have more self-respect. You'll feel like you're a little more in control of life. So you have available to you right now a way to make your life happier, not easier. We don't want easier. We want happier. So we want to have a positive impact on ourselves. We have those things available to us right now. So if you're not sure how to exercise, you're not sure what the right type of exercise is, we have a million freaking podcasts about that. Okay? So we have podcasts on how to put together, like, say, the perfect workout. So we have podcast number 62 talking about picking the right training program. Okay? How to know what's the right way for you to train. We have a podcast, like I said, for a 30-minute workout structure. So that's podcast 274. How to achieve total fitness in a 30-minute workout. So we already have answers available to us. So if you're struggling in those areas with what to eat, how to eat, what to train or how to train, why are you struggling? You already have answers available to you right now. So here you are, sitting and waiting for the final maybe 10% details. But you're dismissing the 90% that you've available at your fingertips right now. You can make a change in your life. Get control. Live a happier life today. Before the end of today, you can, quote unquote, get your shit together. It's available to you right now. Why aren't you taking that? Why aren't you doing it? Why? Because you're afraid to have to put in the work? That can be true. I'm not saying that isn't true. It will take work. You would have to listen to the podcasts. You'd have to write down some notes. You'd have to analyze what you're currently doing that's different than those notes. You'd have to figure out how to bridge the gap and make the changes. It will take work. You do not get to have what you do today to be good enough to get where you want to be tomorrow. If what you're doing today is leading to small progressions, yes, then it can get you where you want. But if you're sitting around saying, I'll start when? I'll start my diet when I know the right diet. I'll start training when I know the right way to train. Or I'll start being a better friend whenever this slows down in my life. Or I'll fix this relationship whenever that person apologizes. I'll start when? If you have a goal, if you have something that you want to do in your life, and you're saying, I'll start when? And what the when is an answer. You're waiting for the answer. stop. You don't need the answer. All you need to do is do more of what you already know you should be doing today. You already have options available to you that you're not taking. Stop worrying about perfection. Stop worrying about the smallest of the details. Stop worrying about the 10%. And freaking start doing the 90% that you have available right in front of your face. Stop looking for perfect. Stop looking for the answer. And just freaking do the best with what you currently have available. Stop the cycle of I'll start when and just start now. Okay? You don't need an answer. You don't need things to be perfect. There is something you probably already know in your head that you could be doing right now, that you could be doing today to make things better. Don't hide behind the excuse of not knowing the perfect approach. And just freaking start with the approach that you know now. No, it might not be perfect. But doing 100% of an imperfect plan is always going to get better results than doing 0% of the perfect plan. Stop waiting. Start now. A really good book that will help is How to Be an Imperfectionist by Stephen Guise. Guise. Okay? How to Be an Imperfectionist by Stephen Guise. His last name is Guise. Stop waiting for things to be perfect. You won't even do them perfectly when you find out what they are. Okay? So do the best with what you have available today. You'll be amazed at how just doing better with what you know today can make a difference. Things don't have to be finite. We don't have to know everything just to get started. You just have to start. And the majority of the time, if you start, you'll then find some answers that you were looking for. It's hard to see the finish line when you're sitting at the other side of the starting line, okay? But if you start walking, you start figuring out, okay, this path is going well, but if I veer off to the left, it doesn't go well. If I veer off to the right, it doesn't go well. So there are your answers. Don't go left, don't go right. As you start your journey, you will gather more answers, but you have to start. So start with what you have available today, okay? Check out the podcast that I mentioned if you're struggling with nutrition and training. If you're struggling with any other area in life, get some resources on it. Okay? Go listen to audiobooks. Go try to find some freaking TED Talks and some things on YouTube. Go talk to somebody who's been there before. Talk to a counselor. Okay, maybe talk to a good friend. See what their opinions are. Gather information. Don't just sit there with your arms crossed doing nothing. Start moving. Start your journey. If there's anything we can do to help, email us at brutalironjim@gmail.com and we'll help. We'll help you get started in a direction. Maybe give you a couple, do's and don'ts. We can help get you started. So if there's anything that you need help with and you're not sure where to start, reach out. brutalironjim@gmail.com. You can be happier today. You can be more productive today. You can make changes for the better today. Just start. Okay. If you like this podcast, please share it with family and friends. The more people we help, the happier the world will be. Also, if you like this information, you can find more from us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Brutal Iron Gym. And if you have any questions, feedback, or suggestions, we'd love to hear from you. The podcast is for you, so we'll know what you want to learn about. And you can tell us at our email at brutalironjim@gmail.com. As always, I hope this was helpful, and thank you for listening.